Welcome to the Weather Guru podcast for Tuesday, July 16, 2024 for the lower 48. Please be sure to subscribe to this channel for the latest interpretation of weather conditions in the lower 48. I appreciate all of you guys' support. Today we're talking about the local hazards, and right now the heat is still firmly in place. As you can see in orange here, the heat, in red, and purple and fuchsia, the excessive heat warnings for the I-95 corridor. So if you're coming up through Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Wilmington, on into Raleigh and Roanoke and Richmond up through the DC, Baltimore, Philly, and New York corridor, you want to be aware of excessive heat warnings that have been placed and excessive heat advisories that are in place, even into the interior sections of the Mid-Atlantic as well as the Northeast as well. Be very careful of that. And also in the Deep South, in the Mid-Mississippi Valley, Tennessee Valley, and the Ohio Valley, there is heat watches, excessive heat advisories in effect. So if you're in Memphis, Greenville, Mississippi, maybe in Little Rock, or in Dallas, Fort Worth, Oklahoma City, places like that, northern Louisiana, Shreveport, Oral City, down towards New Orleans, you want to be careful for excessive heat. To drink water, take lots of breaks, and limit your time outside. On the West Coast, the heat warnings as you can see from today, have been dropped here. So that's great news here. It's still hot, but not as hot as it was before in the Four Corners as well as in the high and low deserts of California. So they've dropped those warnings and watches, but there is still severe thunderstorm warnings taking place east of the Cascades of Washington. So if you're in Walla Walla, Spokane, Kennewick, Washington, and down along the Dalles and I-84, you're coming across Oregon there. Be very careful. There is severe thunderstorms in the area for today forecasted. Now, as far as the flood warnings, the rivers are still swollen here. We had severe weather that came through the Chicagoland area and Rockford area and caused some straight line winds to exceed 60, 70 miles an hour. That created some flood watches here for southern Indiana. So you're coming up 65, up and down 65 from Indianapolis to Greenwood, down towards Columbus and Seymour, Indiana, and into Louisville, Kentucky, and Cincinnati, Kentucky, Cincinnati, Ohio, and Dayton, Ohio. You want to be careful. There's flood watches that extend in that area into the Boot Hill country of Missouri too as well. Those flood watches in green denoted here continue to show those elevated rivers and concerns, as well as our friends in New Mexico as well. Elevated rivers along the I-20 west of I-25 corridor as well. Satellite loop for tropical here. You can see that conditions are very quiet for the next 7 days here. This is great news for all basins besides the Eastern Pacific Basin. There is a storm that has a 40% chance of development by the National Hurricane Center. That does be looking to develop, but it's moving further and further away from Baja California and land. So that's good news. Out here in the Eastern Caribbean, it's clear. Western Caribbean, Gulf of Mexico is clear. We have some showers present here in the Mid-Atlantic here. We have some showers present down south here that's bringing some rain towards Trinidad and Tobago and the ABC Islands as well as northern Venezuela. But nothing of note here. Some free showers as well as toward the British Virgin Islands here. They may get some showers in Montserrat and St. Saba and Saces, but nothing too crazy here. And it's pretty clear. The basin is pretty clear. As far as heat is the name of the game today. Like I said, temperatures are going to be in the 90s all up and down the East Coast here. And even in the mountainous areas, it's going to be 80 degrees, high upper 80s for the mountains of Appalachian Mountains and the Adirondacks and Green and White Mountains of Vermont and New Hampshire. Out west is going to be hot too as well. Phoenix is hitting 108, 112 in Las Vegas. So make sure you take conditions here. As this heat will continue for one more day. Then we get a break going towards the weekend, Friday and Saturday. No tropical activity, as I said, expected in either the Atlantic or Eastern Pacific basins here. There is one here, like I said, in the Eastern Pacific here that's given a 40% chance of development through 7 days, but it's moving away from land here. It's moving west-northwestward. It will continue to move away from land as we get later on. So it's not a threat to land, just a mariner interest out there. If you're out there, be very careful. This could form a tropical depression, and it probably will. And so it could become our next named tropical system in the Eastern Pacific. So look out for that in the next 2 to 3 days. Now moving on, I want to show you the radar scope here. Courtesy of radar scope, we have some storms here that's brewing. Severe thunderstorm warnings. It's all in Missouri here, and this is for hail makers. Almost a quarter inch to 70.75 inch to 1 inch hail produced here, just north of Columbia, Missouri here. And these storms are moving to the east here along this little line here, heading towards Springfield, Illinois. And also these storms south of Jefferson City, Missouri here have not been warned, but they're producing steady rain over the same areas, training as I like to call it, and that could produce flooding here. So we already had those flash flood warnings here zoomed in here east of St. Louis, Illinois here, and into Centralia, Missouri, and Mount Vernon, Missouri here. You can see those showers continuing to move their way through Moberly here, and these are producing that severe thunderstorm warning here. It's producing hail up to 1 inch here in Moberly. This is for Pleasant Hill for eastern Chariton County in north central Missouri. So if you have any cars there or any protected thing, you want to put them in the protecting, because you're getting 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail here. And these storms will continue to train over the same areas. Chillicothe as well is getting in on the rain. Excelsior Springs, Overland Park, Kansas as well. Kansas City, northern suburbs are getting heavy rain there. Topeka's getting a nice line here of strong storms coming in. Not bow echoing, but they are producing strong winds there as well. In Topeka and Overland Park, Kansas, just to the north of you guys, you're getting some rain in Liberty, Kansas as well. So these showers will continue to press their way eastward. So southern Illinois, Carbondale, places like that, you want to get ready for some rainy times here as these storms progress east across the river there in St. Louis. So that's what we have going on as far as the majority of storms. Let me give you a zoom out view of here. Just a bunch of flash flood warnings and watches for Illinois, and we had those showers in Missouri here, the central focal point here, for anywhere from St. Joseph, Missouri, down through Kansas City. If you come along 435 there, the north side, the top side there, through Leavenworth and other areas in Liberty there, be very careful there. And then if you're coming along towards Beaver and Huntsville, we have those showers here in Moberly, Missouri here. And as I said, most of these are producing hail and heavy rain down here. We're concerned about training and flooding here. So this is just going to affect the St. Louis area here. And the St. Louis area is just getting brief showers now. This radar is kind of farther away, but you can see that in the yellow here, they are getting moderate showers in St. Louis now, and some of the north and northeast suburbs of St. Louis here, Alton and Crevcoeur, showers are available. And then we have this warning here, flash flood warning, radar indicated, for Bond County, Clinton County, Fayette County, Madison County, Monroe County, and southwestern Illinois. So this is going to be pushing into that area there. Mount Vernon, Spring Garden, Illinois, Centralia, these places as it exits St. Louis, these rains are going to be continuing over into southern Illinois. Carbondale, like I said, Cape Girardeau, you want to watch out too for these storms. All going to be pressing throughout the day. And that's what we have the majority of the precipitation right now. And that's what we had the flash flood warnings in effect for now. So right now, this is what's going on nationwide in the United States. This is the Weather Guru signing off right now, bringing you the latest information here. I thank you, and you have a great day and be safe out there.